What's up, guys? This is video one of our video series that we're going to be posting on at remotetigers.com website for you guys. As mentioned in our meeting earlier, we wanted to first start out with pitching, okay? And before I get into the drills that we're going to talk about, first of all, we're going to focus on 4 drills. I want to make it real simple for you guys while you guys are away. 4 simple drills. And you guys have done all of these, but we are going to get into more details of what these drills are for and what is the objective of each single drill that we're going to talk about today. But before we get into our drills, I want you to think about a whip, okay? I want you to think about a whip. And this is what a whip looks like, okay? We have the bottom of our whip, which is firm. We have the middle of our whip, and then we have the top of our whip. So let's split this whip into 3 pieces. The same thing we're going to do with our body. All right, our legs are obviously going to be the handle, okay, right where the handle meets our hip is going to be the middle part, and then of course the tip is going to be our arm, okay. The whole concept, okay, to have a nice, loose, free and easy arm is to create momentum off the mound, okay, creating ground force, and then making our body move like a whip, okay. So when that front foot hits down, all right, our front foot is going to be stiff. It's going to hold on all that force. The middle of our body is going to torque up, and then boom, our arm's going to come through like a whip. All right, I'm going to take Avery over here. We're going to go through our drills, and we're going to explain in details of how we're going to create that good arm whip, so you guys can understand what the kinetic chain is from the ground, okay, which is this is your feet to your fingertips, right? Because what we're doing as pitchers, we're transferring all our energy from the ground into our fingertips. So the more ground force that we could create here, the more force we can create on our fingertips. And we're going to work on some drills. The 4 drills that we're going to focus on today are separation, stride length, ground force and step backs, and then of course our full winding. All right, so the first thing we want to discuss is separation. All right, since December 1st, we've been working on separation at every single practice when we start our warm-up routine. And the reason why I like to start you guys out at this is because I'm forcing you to get glove, chin, ball lined up. So what we're going to talk about here is Avery here is going to get in his separation. All right, now he has a strong front side lined up with his chin and the ball. So right there we created a good straight line. All right, remember what I talked about the whip. Okay, refer back to the whip. Right now, okay, we're cutting his legs off. We're going second part of the whip to the third part of the whip only. We cut his legs off for a purpose so you can work on that separation and getting your arm back. Getting that arm back in this good slot here as far away from that front hip as possible. Alright? And from there we're going to go glove, chin, ball to our target. And remember, fellas, we've said it since December 1st, even when you're throwing from shortstop, even when you're throwing from the outfield, especially when you're doing from the bump, please follow the ball with your chin to your target. Trace the ball with your chin to your target. Whatever makes sense to you, get your chin moving behind the ball. That way you're finishing with a flat back and getting good extension on your throw. So here you go. Here's this break back, hold it there, feel the separation, and then snap. Good. As you can see, Abe is finishing with a flat back, driving his chin towards his target, finishing with that shoulder moving towards his target as well. So we got shoulder back, glove, chin, ball. Good. You want to be nice and loose with your arm, okay? You guys always hear on television, oh, he's got a nice, loose, live arm, right? Because a lot of guys come out of their glove stiff, and they're stiff, and they're going to stay stiff. Now, if you come out loose and let your lower body do all the work for you, right? If you create good ground force, you're going to create good whip. All right? The ground is your friend. You have to use the ground in order to make good, powerful throws. So when you're on your stride, your arm's sitting back, here comes that hip, and then here comes the whip. You have to think about it that way. All right? Think about the video we just showed you earlier on the whip and the handle and the string, okay? And now relay that to your body. Handle, center, string, the tip. Let it go. Let's go. Separate, let it fly. All right? When you're playing catch with a partner, make sure your partner's putting up targets so you get hitting targets from this spot as well, feeling that separation. Okay? One more time. And go. Good job. Make sure, once again, make sure you're tracing the ball in with your chin out over your front side. So 3 things are going into the target. Glove, chin, ball. All right, the next thing we wanted to talk about to build off separation, right? Every time I do a pitching lesson or every time I work with some pitchers, I like to work backwards, right? So we work from separation release to now we're going to work on our stride length, right? So I want you to focus on a certain part of your body to create momentum behind the ball. The more momentum you create behind the ball, obviously you're going to be able to throw it harder, right? But the only way you're going to be able to create momentum is by creating ground force. All right, so here, Avery's going to start with his front foot on an elevated space, right? But he's connected to both spots. He's connected to the ground and connected to the mound, right? So right now, what I'm going to tell him is I want him to lead with his momentum block. This is what I call your momentum block. Right here. That's your momentum block. This is where a lot of power comes from in this area when it comes to pitching. So, you want to lead with your momentum block and get out to that maximum stride length that you can hold with balance and under control. As you're coming out of your momentum block, obviously you want to get into a good arm break. That. And then hold, bang. Right here. Once again. Straight line, okay? Not off to the left. A lot of amateur pitchers, where you go wrong is your energy starts to go to that side, right? If you're a right-handed pitcher, your body starts going to the first base dugout, and you're caught here. I mean, really, think about this for a second. Can you really get to a solid release point over and over again with your body going left and you're trying to throw the ball straight? No, you can't, right? Same thing for lefties. Can you really find a release point in a straight line when your body's going towards the third base dugout? You can't, all right? So you got to be able to be strong enough to gather yourself, okay? Use the ground as your ground force. Control your stride as you're moving forward, okay? Once again here, we're going to stride out, boom. As you can see, his arm was still going back as he broke. And right here, he's in a good position. And once again, glove, chin, ball, right? He's ready to use the ground as his force, okay? And remember the whip. The front leg is going to become a stiff, and now he's going over it. He's going to catapult his body over it, all right? But right here, we're focusing on stride right here. We're working on our stride and go. So again, this time he's going to throw the ball so you can see it, create momentum with your block, and go. All right, once again, what are the 3 things that go into the mitt? Glove, chin, ball, right? So once again, I'm going to have him break and stop. Boom. Right over his front foot. He's got the glove. Once he starts to turn his body, okay? Now he's got his chin over his front foot, and then the release. Okay? 3 things over the front foot. Glove, chin, ball. All right, now we're going to have them go through a few so you guys can see it, have them put it all together. Glove, chin, ball, strong front side, boom. Creating good momentum with his momentum block, right? Okay, so think about it. Once again, when his front foot is down, I want you to see how it's almost like he's putting on his brakes and then his body is catapulting, okay? I'm going into the camera, catapulting out over his front foot. Right? But his body's nice and loose. Nice and loose. Pump the brakes, keep your body loose, let it fly. Right? A lot of you guys do this, you release and you back up. No, let your body go. Nice and loose. Create that momentum behind the ball and stay behind it. Momentum block, boom. One last thing I want to discuss before we go into our next drill, okay, is your hands. Where some of you guys go wrong is you want to break your hands here, right? We don't want to break our hands back here. We want to break our hands as we're moving, right? We want to carry our hands as we're going, okay? As we're creating momentum, our hands are together. Trust me, your arm is going to catch up. Remember, your arm is just the tip of the whip. It's going to catch up. If everything is on time here, it's just like hitting. Right? It's just like hitting. We all want to get to the launch position, yes? The same thing with pitching. We all want to get to this good ground force action here where we have glove chin ball ready to go, and now we're catapulting our body over that strong front leg. Glove chin ball. Remember, pitching is a fast movement and explosive movement, okay? But you want to be under control. Coach, how do I control it, right? By controlling the ground. By feeling the ground. You can control all your athletic movements by feeling the ground. If you're trying to turn your back hip before your front foot hits down, guess what? Your release point's going to be all over the place. Once again, a couple teaching points that you can work on your own. When you miss your target, up or down, is usually your release point is off, okay? When you miss your target, left or right, okay, it's because your glove side is coming off. It's coming off that straight line, okay? So those are just two small little tips that you can work on when you miss a spot on your own, and you can say, okay, I missed high, I missed low, coach says my release point. Make an adjustment. Just like hitting, make an adjustment, right or left. My strong front side is off, or I stepped across my body. One or the other, all right? Let's go. So here we go again. We're creating that good momentum block and glove chin ball. Glove chin ball. Really want to track the baseball in with your chin and track the baseball into your target, creating good ground force from the back side into the front side. As you can see in this video, he's going to do it one more time. As you can see, when his front foot lands, look how stiff it gets before his body catapults. That's good ground force right there. One last time, I want you to focus on how he holds his hands together as he's drifting. That's important, okay? That's important. Let your lower body, the strong part of your body, let that do all the momentum for you, right? Let that create all the momentum for you. Let your arm just go along for the ride and just zaga that right at the end. Let it fly. Good job. And one last thing before I go to the next drill, okay? As he's lifting his front foot to create momentum, you have to be sure to stay connected with this back foot. So as he's moving forward, you're sinking back foot and creating more ground force as you're moving forward. So it's a pretty dynamic, complex movement, but if you practice it over and over and over again, you'll be able to get it done. Coach, well, how am I going to work on that? Well, you got the good old towel here. You got the good old towel. Get you a towel. All right, put a ball at the end, whatever. Tape, and just work on it with a towel. Over and over again. Work on your repetitions. You don't necessarily have to throw 100 balls every single day. You can do this 100 times a day, 50 times a day to feel your mechanics over and over and over again. Good. Watch his hands stay together. Focus on his hands. So basically, this is where his hands start. His hands are going to break out here. See that? See how far you carried his hands? That's very important right there. Let's do it one more time. Look, his hands start here. His hands start here, and they're going to start breaking here. Right? So you carry your hands with you. Let your body do the momentum, and let your arm just go along for the ride. All right, so to progress into our next drill, okay, we worked on separation, we worked on stride. We discussed our momentum block in our stride, we discussed the width, all that type of stuff. So now we're going to talk about stepping back into our power leg, okay, making sure that our backside is really sinking into the ground, creating ground force. Those are the key words that I'm using. Create ground force, create momentum. Stay in a straight line, track the ball into the mitt. All of those type of things works at any position. Shortstop, ground force, boom. Track the ball with your chin, outfield, crow hop. Track the ball with your chin, same thing on the pitcher's mound, okay? So we want to get all our weight into our backside and then transfer all that weight into our front side. And again, start that whip, start that catapult over our front foot. But while we're doing that, we want to maintain good ground force. We want to maintain good control of our body, right? because we're going down a slope. You got to think about it. You're going down a hill as fast as you can, so you want to be under control. That's why we have to be prepared as far as strength goes and power within our core and our lower half, because we're moving down a hill and we have to be able to stop that and then get out over that front side over and over and over again throughout the course of the game, right? And that takes a toll on your body. That's why you got to have good strength in your midsection and your lower half. So Avery here is going to work. We're going to start out in an athletic position and stepping back into the rubber, creating ground force on the back side, transferring over to the front side. We got the step back, lift, drift, and go. Once again, if you see his momentum block, from here, his momentum block is going to move forward, holding his hands up. I'm going to use this pole for you to see when his hands make contact with the pole. So his hands start here, he's going to make contact with the pole right around this area, because that's when they're breaking. So you know he's creating good momentum here. Right? You want to hold those hands together, create momentum through your legs, right? Because what the key is, we're transferring our energy from our feet to our fingertips into a baseball. So we start at our feet, we get into our legs, we get into our torque, and then we whip. All right, we're going to do it a couple more times. I want you to focus on the lower half. How when he gets back here and he sits on that back leg, how his front side starts to lead, okay? And his arms coming out nice and relaxed. There's no tension in there. Good. Good. And as you can see, his front side, when he comes out with his front side, is coming out strong and really stabilizing his front foot when he lands. So, focus on this part of his body now. When his front foot is down, focus on the front side. Glove, chin, ball. Glove, chin, ball. Another real simple drill that you can do either with the ball, if you're throwing into a net, or a towel, okay, to work, okay, on, again, this drill right here, we call it some people call it the rocker step drill. I call it the triangle, right? So we get into our triangle, all right? Basically rock into our back hip and then go. As you can see, both feet stay into the ground on the triangle drill. You understand me? What happens is some guys, they start to lift off their front foot when they come back. All right, you want both feet to be into the ground. Rock front, rock back, start the break, right? The break, it's almost like you're taking the ball out of your pocket, right? When you get into your lift, ball out of your pocket, let your arm nice and relaxed. It's going to go along for the ride. Here in the triangle drill, you're getting your weight to your front, going into your back, and you already created your brakes here, right? So you're working on getting out over that front side, catapulting over that front side. Once again, working backwards, separation, stride length, step backs, triangle. Glove, chin, ball. Right? When it comes out of his glove, chin, ball. As you can see, watch his front leg now. His front leg is going to go from loose to stiff because this is his brakes. This is where you create the ground force. This is where you create the push. Right? We're pushing off here to force it into here so that our body just goes along for the ride. Right? Just like the whip we talked about earlier. Front, back, push. Good. So we're going to try to get more force off this back hip right here and see how much ground force we can get from here, catapult into this front side where our back leg drive. Boom, boom, push. Good job. Now, again, coach, I can't do this over and over again. My arm's going to fall off. Get you a towel. And you can do the same thing, triangle. You can do your step backs with your towel. You can do your crossover, momentum, stride with your towel. Glove, chin, ball. And then now, of course, we work into our full windup. Now we're putting it all together. Remember, on the knee lift, we don't want to come straight up, right? We want to bring that knee to back shoulder and start creating that momentum with the center of our body. So it's front knee to back shoulder, get out. So now we just work on it over and over again. With our towel, boom. So you can see once again, all right, watch the center of his body. Watch how he almost sinks down and his hands don't break till they get to here. He's sinking, creating momentum, boom. Creating that good momentum behind the ball. And more importantly, right, when his front foot lands, look how firm and strong his front foot's landing so he can control his body moving forward. This is the things that you need to focus on when you're working on your own. Sink, push, good. Once again, do it again. Watch his lower half. It's almost as he's riding that slope down. Riding that slope down while his hands are still together. Good athlete right here. Good. Good, strong athlete. Let's do it one more time. Guys, you got to utilize your time. You got to get your reps in. Okay, grab a towel. Get creative. Get your work in. Let's go. All right, guys. So just to recap what we went over today, I wanted to, discuss the things that I like to focus on in the pitching lessons for all the pitchers, and obviously for the guys that are not pitchers that are interested in pitching. Okay, you can always learn something from the drills that we just worked on over there with Avery. Okay, what we worked on: separation. Okay, we worked on stride length, really focusing on our momentum block, understanding how to create momentum when our hands need to break. They don't need to break over the rubber, they need to break as we're moving forward, and how to create ground force on both sides, not only the push-off foot, but also the landing foot. You got to understand how to pump the brakes when you're moving forward down the slope. We talked about that. We talked about being athletic and using ground force in our step backs. Very good drill. Love that drill because of the momentum. It makes you create momentum, and not only that, but you have to focus on the ground force. Once again, the key words I keep moving are ground force, controlling your body, glove chin ball into your target, staying in a straight line, and then tracing the ball with your chin into the target. Then we worked over into our triangle drill, which is either our triangle, or some people call it the rocker step, whatever works better for you. Okay. But the key is here is, again, that your arms nice and relaxed. It's almost as if you're taking the ball out of your pocket and going and really focusing on the ground force on the back side and the front side. And then, of course, we finished it up with our full windup. Okay? I don't want you to forget about the whip. Think about the three pieces of the whip. All right? And that's what we're trying to create when we're pitching off the pitcher's mound. We want our arm to be nice and relaxed. Nice and relaxed. Let our body do all the work. Okay. What happens is guys come out of their glove stiff. Okay, and they're stiff here. Okay, then they come up with a sore arm. All right. At the end of a game, when you're pitching, your lower body should be sore. Your rib cage should be sore. Your lower back is a good extension. Those are the parts of your body that should be sore because that's what you're utilizing more. That's the reason why we have to be strong. That's the reason why we focus in the weight room in this area and this area, so that you guys can do that over and over and over again during a baseball game and not break down. I hope this helps you guys. Make sure you get your account over at remotetigers.com.